All right. Welcome back to another episode of the Mod Pod. As always, my name is Albert Delgado. With me, always, of course, is Mr. Jose.
What's going on, man? Long time no see.
Hey, it's been a while. We're less than a little under 100 days till football season officially starts.
Football glory.
I mean, what can we focus on for this episode? Of course, keeping it simple. I guess we're just going to review what we think about the schedule so far, just a comparison, the Cowboys schedule. As well as the Bears schedule. For those of you tuning in for the first time, this is what our podcast focuses on. Cowboys. I'm your guy to go for the Cowboys. Jose, your guy for the Bears.
Yeah, meltdown. Known for my meltdowns. It's okay. But hey, before we get started, can we crack open a beer?
Of course.
Cracking open a beer.
It's only right. There's no other way to start this podcast. It's what we do here.
There we go.
All right. So now we got something cool to sip on. A little bit of little fancy news, if you will say. Your boy Jay Cuddy, since you have the shirt on, he's trying to get his half of his ex or soon to be ex-wife's. It's a clothing brand, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think he did a fantastic job waiting to the divorce is almost finalized, and then you know what? No, he's gonna stick it right in the side. But he did a really good job. I'm not sure if you watched the show that she was on, the Very Cavalieri. I mean, I only tuned in just to see my boy, right? But He made the show. One, that's one. Two, he made it a point throughout the series. I mean, there's only 2 seasons before they got the axe, right?
Yeah.
Throughout those 2 seasons, he made it known that he was a key factor in that brand or that company that she made. He was there filling orders for her, doing all the work behind the scenes. And I'm sure he was a big contributor to the startup as well. So
for sure.
So on that note, get your money, King. That's why I have my Jay Cuddy is my buddy T, and I have a little cigar here that I'm gonna smoke in solidarity.
Oh, it's that Cavalieri pack you're gonna light up?
Hey, this for smoking Jay Cutler.
Nice.
He's a beacon of light for all those men that are going through divorce. You can get yours.
Well, I figured we'd open it up with a little bit of light segment, just so we can get things rolling. But let's go off with the schedule. Let's start with the Bears since we're on the Jay Cutler vibes right now. Let's go ahead and start with the Bears.
All right. So I was really excited, as I am every season, even though we already know who they're playing, right?
Yeah.
The opponents get leaked out. But seeing this schedule, I mean, it's tough. We have probably the top 5 hardest schedules. And we don't even know who's going to be starting week 1. I know they just promised Andy Dalton today that he's starting week 1. Yeah. I think that it's not only who the quarterback's going to be. There's a lot of obstacles. Stars have to align for us this season. One of the toughest things that I noticed is every week is a travel week. We don't have back-to-back home games. We don't have back-to-back away games. It's away, home throughout all the season. So I think that's going to be.
Y'all have a lot of Saturday games too, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't there a few Saturday games you guys were slated for? If I saw that correctly?
Probably. I didn't pay attention too much to that. But one thing that I did notice is I include the 3:00 games as primetime games just because, there's a lot of people watching them. In total, there's 8 games in primetime, either at 3:00 or at 7:00. So to me, I think the NFL is kind of setting us up to push Fields in a lot earlier than Andy Dalton's expecting.
Yeah, I mean, hey, there's 4 preseason games this year, so it's his job to win. I mean, if he accidentally stunts out, I say go ahead, start him week 1. I mean, if he can show it in preseason, why not? The deal is a week 1 matchup. You guys got a really good Rams defense that he may eventually play against.
Yeah, I'm not knocking their defense.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to be the same stout defense as they were last year. I know they lost a couple key players. But I think the important thing is, how's Matt Stafford going to be playing?
Yeah.
So,
and Bears defense, we saw it last year. Whenever they're on, I mean, they can ball out. They can make things happen. It's been quarterback play the past couple of years for the Bears. And, Fields hopefully is that guy to go to. To me, I mean, from what I've been like, I keep looking at some highlights of him from college and everything. He reminds me a lot of Dak, to be honest. I can't not root for the guy to be like when I see him, and I hope he takes over for the Bears and he becomes a franchise quarterback for them. I mean, it's much needed especially going from Trubisky to Fields.
Look, this schedule is rough, and I know there's a lot of people that say that he should be benched for the one season to get him acclimated to the NFL, but I mean, it is what it is. And I don't think there's a certain week that would be a good matchup for him to be introduced other than just be, thrown into the fire. Because I would say, I mean, the first half of the season is just, it's tough. I mean, we have the Rams, we have the Browns week 3. I mean, we have the Lions, who I think we're going to cook them up. But we go Green Bay, Bucks, 49ers, Steelers, Ravens, and then we go get with the Lions again. So it's really going to be important that we start off with a good start, maybe like last year where we started off, 5-1, and then just fucking tanked. But if we can go 5-1 with Foles and Trubisky, I could just imagine what we would be able to do with Fields.
No, and I mean, I think that's what everybody's waiting for or what they're questioning, at what point they're going to see Fields. But yeah, like you said, you guys have a very tough schedule. I mean, off the bat, the first 3 games, Rams, you might put a question mark by the Bengals, but that offense that they've built around for Burrow now, I mean, that's going to be an explosive offense. That wide receiver core is just going to go nuts. Should go nuts, I should say.
How's Burrow going to come back?
Exactly. And then right after that, you got the Browns, best running back tandem, and now possibly one of the best defenses in the NFL with all the additions that they picked up in the offseason.
Yeah, it's tough. We have a layup with the Lions.
Yeah.
Which I'm not expecting much from them.
I would say Lions and Raiders a little bit of layup. I mean, Lions for sure, because they got Goff, and he really doesn't have any receivers to throw to.
Right.
There's nobody that jumps off the page when you're looking at that depth chart for the Lions.
Yeah. But then we have Green Bay Bucks, 49ers. Green Bay, we don't know what's happening.
We don't know the quarterback situation right now.
Right.
So we don't know if Rodgers wants to go play Jeopardy or not. Who knows?
I mean, he's having fun in Hawaii right now.
He's living it up. He's with that other I don't remember the kid's name, but he's like in a lot of movies. He's that one actor that's in a lot of movies, but nobody really knows his name.
I don't even know him. So there you go.
There you go. You got Raiders. You got Derek Carr. Speaking of the Raiders, though, sorry to get a little bit off topic, but have you seen the prices for their tickets? They're like $1,000 a pop.
Yeah, and it's like all the way up in the nosebleeds.
Yeah. I was like, there might be some people from Cali that still want to go see these people, like that lived in the trenches and still want to go see them.
No, you just got to go hit a couple jackpots so you can buy some tickets. See what they're doing.
I wonder how if any casinos or anything will have some type of like
comps,
work in or comps for that.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty interesting.
I mean, it would be dumb for the casinos not to have tickets, holding on to tickets to give to the high rollers. They're
gonna be part of the bad beat jackpots, sweet tickets.
Yeah.
But no, y'all guys do have one hell of a tough schedule. I mean, playing for sure a lot of the top tier defenses in this schedule. That's something that just jumps off the bat for me. But expectations, what are you expecting from this season from the Bears? Or what would you like to see this season?
Look, I'm okay with an 8. I'm trying to keep my expectations just minimal, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to, we drafted Fields and I was like, we're going to the fucking Super Bowl. Like, it's done. This is our time. So I've come down. I've come back down to earth. I honestly feel that 8 wins is really attainable.
Mm-hmm.
If the stars align, I can see us hitting 12. But
Okay.
it's going to be how we can handle, especially like the Cardinals, Green Bay, the Steelers, the defending champs. I mean, we beat them last year. So 8 is attainable. I think 12 is I'm wishing on a star.
I mean, ultimately for the Bears, it comes down to it's going to be QB play. That's what it's going to come down to. That's all that hurt last year. And you know how well these wide receivers, besides Robinson, some of the younger guys that you guys picked up in the past 2-3 years, how they can adapt. I mean, they had a lot of mistakes last year as well. That receiver core, whenever Robinson wasn't on fire, there wasn't anybody else that was picking up slack for him.
Or they were dropping balls.
Or they dropped Trubisky's one best career ball to the end zone. Poor guy.
Nickelodeon MVP gone.
No, but overall, so this season, I mean, realistically, in past years, what is your feelings going into this season versus the past 2 years?
It's not like I would go in optimistic, knowing defeat's coming, knowing heartbreak is coming. I actually have optimism for the future. Yeah. I honestly feel that Fields is going to be a game changer and going to put the Bears in a different category now moving forward. The tides are changing in the NFC North. I think in the next couple years, they're going to have to go through Soldier Field to,
Okay, I like it. The path to Soldier Field, for sure. No, I mean, it is Bears for the taking, especially if, Rodgers sails off into the sunset. I really don't see any other team stepping up to the mantle, and I hope the best for Fields, and I'm excited to see, what happens with the Bears, to be honest.
I don't see Kirk Cousins doing anything.
Let's be honest. He's not.
I mean, we saw that video. He's throwing picks.
Yeah. I think we both already retweeted. So when he led the defender better than he led the receiver on that pass. Yeah. I mean, he has the most.
I had to rewatch it because I was like, wait, that wasn't the receiver. Oh, because he got it. Like if he was going to score a touchdown.
The media team, like as much as it was a good defensive highlight, that's something the media team probably should have just kept under wraps. Just been like, you know what? Let's not.
Or at least like put out a video of him picking off like the second string quarterback. But not Kirk. Oh well. Poor back.
Well. Nothing new there with Kirk, to be honest. All right, so let's move here.
And that's what I'm saying. If we take care of business, for sure we have 4 wins. And that's with the Lions and the Vikings. Because, I mean, the last couple of years we have their ticket. I mean, if Trubisky can beat them, Justin Fields or Andy fucking Red Rocket can beat him.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. Well, let's move on forward. Let's talk a little bit about the Cowboys. We'll go over their schedule. I mean, they start off week 1 with a banger against the Buccaneers, defending Super Bowl champs. To me, you probably could have lined this up with, if it wasn't the Bucs, maybe the Bills would have been a good week 1 opener. But as far as storyline goes, both would have been good. Both would have been good. I mean, you would have had old age quarterback Brady versus Bills quarterback, who I don't know why, Josh Allen, new age quarterback. That would have been a good week 1 start off, to be honest. But as far as storyline goes, I mean, for the Cowboys, you got Dak coming back off of his horrific injury, and to me, I mean, this could be a game that can set the pace for everything else, can set momentum their way. If they come out swinging, they come out with a high-powered offense, which is what they do have. The big question is, can Dan Quinn's defense at least perform? I don't expect them to shut down anybody, especially year 1 under him, but I just need them to be a little bit competitive. Can they get that 1 or 2 takeaways when the Cowboys actually need it? Can they give the offense some type of, cut the offense some slack where it's not Dak having to hang 45 points every time?
And, I mean, it can't get any worse than last year.
Yeah.
So you made some changes. You switched out the coordinator. Now you got some weapons in the draft. I think it's time. I honestly feel that you're going to have a better season defensively. And now, also the big question is the same thing it is with my team is the quarterback play. How's Dak going to bounce back from that injury?
Yeah. Is he going to be a little bit more, I would say, not as willing to run the ball whenever he sees some green out in the open? We'll have to see if that affects him anyway. Because that's, the other part to his skill set is that he can make plays in open spaces. The other good thing is that the whole O-line is back, no injuries. That whole O-line was decimated by injuries last year. Another thing is Zeke. He slimmed down, but it doesn't. It makes him look like he's faster, but it doesn't mean that he's not going to fumble. That was his big problem last season. So there's questions there. Maybe how they're going to use Tony Pollard. They saw the success they had with him last year. There's just a lot of questions. There's so much talent on this team, and that's what I feel like I've been saying the past couple of years and what everybody's expecting. And then the defense just really hasn't been there. And hopefully, under Dan Quinn, who was supposed to be simplifying this for everybody else and bringing in these other linebackers and bringing in other DBs to be linebackers, whatever. We'll just have to see how it works. Dan Quinn is a guy defensive players love to play for. So I hope that just, in a way, mixes in and we see that on the field. And again, I don't need them to shut down everybody. I don't expect that from them. I just need a little bit competitive. Just hold them off a little bit. Be competitive. That's it. Exactly.
Give the offense a breather from time to time.
Don't give a touchdown in 3 plays. That's all I need.
Big facts.
But other than that, I think I'm in agreement with a lot of other people on here. They do have a little bit of a softer schedule. The only kind of names that stick out on here besides the Bucs but they have the Bucs. They have division-wise. I think Washington's going to be the only ones that are going to contend with them. I don't expect much of the Eagles this year unless, Jalen Hurts gets some rhythm under him going into the second year. We'll have to see how that plays out. But off the bat, you have, again, Bucs and Chiefs, 2 names that pop out. Possibly the Chargers. Their defense is coming back healthy. Their offense under Herbert, hope it should still look good. They still should look explosive.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say is they can hang up 45 points on you.
Yeah. The Cowboys are going to be able to at least score, but they're going to still need their defense to do something. Even with the stats Dak was putting up, they were still 1-4 to start off the first 5 games.
Yeah.
And then the injury happened. And the only reason they're 1-4 is even though they're hanging up 35, 42 points a game, they're still getting beat by that one field goal, that one touchdown that's given up by the defense.
Yeah, I had a couple heartbreaks.
Yeah. Well, there's really not much other than that. Again, they really have an easier schedule, and I'll admit to that. It's not as tough as it is. The division really should be theirs to win for NFC East.
I don't know, man. You have the Washington football guys.
Well, yeah,
you look pretty nice.
Yeah, they do have Fitzpatrick now, who's actually a quarterback that has a cannon behind him and is not afraid to launch it. Of course, they have Scary Terry, a guy that I'm really high on when it comes to his rookie cards. That's somebody to invest in, by the way. There's no reason why you shouldn't invest in him. The kid put 1,100 yards last season with going through 3 different quarterbacks, and he had no true number 2 option across from him.
Yeah.
So if he could do 1,100 yards that year, just last year, imagine what he's going to do with Fitzpatrick, and now they have Curtis Samuel across from him.
Yeah. Yeah, and fantasy play as well, because a lot of people are probably going to try to go swing for the fences, a couple rounds, and that's a good pick right there.
That's wide receiver 1 to me. He did good last year. Yeah, he didn't see a lot. He saw maybe, I think, 5 or 6 touchdowns. But still, he's putting up yards, especially if you're in a yard per reception league. He's going to get you those points. He's going to at least minimum 13 points a game. Minimum. Easy.
Yeah. And then you have the Giants. Saquon back. They got weapons.
Yeah, and they added a few more at the receiver end as well. But it's just seeing what can Saquon do bouncing back from the injury, and there's just questions there. Most importantly for the Giants, it's going to be their quarterback play as well. Danny Dimes. He's not the most consistent guy. A lot of questions there, so we'll have to see. He's going into what? Is it year 3, 4 now for him?
Yeah.
So I have to see what Danny Dimes does, but I mean, best defense in that division right now is definitely Washington's defense.
Yeah.
They're stupid good, stupid fast, super young as well. That's what keeps Washington competitive. And now they have a quarterback that can launch the ball. He has some additional wide receiver help besides Scary Terry. So I know, to me, it's still Washington and Cowboys that are going to be fighting for that first place in that division. We'll have to see what becomes of the Giants and Eagles.
Yeah, and as far as like the schedule goes, I mean, you start off like you said, Bucks, Chargers, Eagles, Panthers.
Yeah,
I mean, those Eagles, Panthers should be easy. Giants will be a good test for y'all, and then you have the Pats. Meh. And then you got the Vikings. That's a win. The Vikings is a win, and then you go, Broncos, Falcons, which would be a good revenge game for your defensive coach.
I mean, big issue for the defense is, getting pressure to the quarterback. And last year they could not stop the run. I mean, OBJ ran all over him, especially with that wide receiver option pass where he could have been knocked back minus 10 yards, and then he got a touchdown off of that. Then you saw what the tandem of Chubb and I can't remember other homeboys the other running back right now, what they did for the Browns. They have the best running back core at this point. The Browns do for sure.
Yeah.
That was just that's going to be, a big question going into this season is, can we at least stop the run? Can Jalen Smith stop taking bad angles and stop doing his signature swipe on a 3rd and 15? I mean, a 3rd and 5. Yeah.
Yeah. And
who knows
the big test is Cowboys Chiefs.
Yeah. I mean, to me, week 1 is going to be the biggest test, just right off the gate, just to see how Dak responds. Missing all this time, starting off with playing another high-powered offense, which it's going to be a shootout. Should be a shootout,
yeah.
And it probably is more than likely going to be a shootout. So, best time for him to put on a show. And again, if they can win that first game, I think momentum can take off from them from there. And especially if the defense can get some key stops and at least show some type of difference from last year. Again, I think that's just a whole big momentum swing, and just starting the season off and kicking everybody in the front teeth if they can find a way to beat the Bucks.
Look, if y'all beat the Bucks, I'm gonna log off of Twitter for like at least 48 hours. Because it's going to be nothing but Cowboy Nation. We're going to the Super Bowl.
Cowboy Nation, hashtag our year, hashtag
bust out.
Hashtag we them boys.
Hashtag bust out the jorts. Fucking Cowboy jerseys galore. It's going to be so annoying. It's going to be so annoying.
And I'm going to admit too, I mean, you have the radical Cowboy fans, and we probably have maybe top 3 most annoying fan bases. I'll admit that. But there's realist fans out there like myself who can expect something like that. But yeah, I'll admit that there's some wild fans out there. And they know who they are. I mean, I don't know. I mean, to me, I just want Dak to come back and silence a lot of the Cowboys fans as well that just hate on the kid for God knows whatever reason. He can put up as many stats as he wants, but apparently until you get a ring as a quarterback for the Cowboys, you're not that good of a quarterback, and no matter anything else. So,
hey, what about all the Romosexuals that are out there? Shout out Frank.
Shout out Frank. I mean, they're out there too. I mean, I like the people that support the quarterback. That's how it should be. But again, I mean, Romo had that rabid fan base that just hated him for every which way and every single bad thing that came into play that might have even been out of his control. And that's the same thing that Dak also runs into. And again, that's that wild side of that Cowboys fan base, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It happens.
Shout out Romo. Thanks for all the fantasy points. And a fantasy win because of him one year as well.
Hey,
so.
Damn good fantasy quarterback. I'll give him that at least. But I'm expecting – I don't think it wouldn't be, especially with this schedule, I don't think it would not be realistic to at least get 11, 12 wins.
I was around there as well. I was predicting 10 easy just because of, like you said, y'all really got lucky with the schedule you have. And you can really, if you start dropping games, you can at least win the division.
Yeah. For sure.
And that's where I think the Bears might be able to get lucky as well, since the only team that we actually worry about is Green Bay. And if they don't have a fucking quarterback, this is ours to lose.
What is Jordan Love going to do?
I don't know. And the reports that I've read, it's like, oh, he's improved. That's it. There's no like he's looking good. Like, we're excited. It's very skittish on the Jordan Love reporting. Yeah. I've noticed. I saw videos of it's Blake Bortles that they brought, right? Yeah.
I feel like I've been seeing more videos of him just walking out to the practice field than of Jordan Love.
Yeah, man, this is tough times. This is, Green Bay hasn't felt this in fucking forever. Yeah. So welcome to this ugly time of uncertainty. Like, this is what we've been living through since Jay Cutler left.
Welcome to football limbo.
Yeah, you motherfuckers. But look, I'm gonna be honest. As much as I fuck around and say like fuck Aaron Rodgers, I'm glad he's gone, or I'm hoping that he's gone. Mm-hmm. Deep down, I want him to be a Green Bay Packer this season, so Justin Fields can fucking beat him.
Yeah.
And then at that point, like, you beat up the bully. You beat up the biggest motherfucker in your area, and now you're the top dog. That's what I want for Justin Fields, because that will just put his confidence like through the roof.
Sure. Yeah, no, I can see that. I mean, that would be confidence booster for sure, especially if he were to ball out. I mean, outscore Aaron Rodgers. I mean, big confidence booster for sure.
Yeah,
especially starting off your first year. I mean, that's what the kid's going to need. I mean, that's what he's going to have to do. I mean, if he's expected to take over, and maybe we'll see him week one, maybe we won't. We'll see how preseason goes.
Right. And, being a Bears fan, I have no hopes of the Super Bowl, but I have my own Super Bowl 2 times a year, and that's always versus Green Bay.
Packers.
And every now and then that we play, the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Wow.
This guy. All right. Well, that wraps up the schedules. That's pretty much it. I mean, for this episode, I was hoping we were going to see going into June now, a few trades happening with some of the teams possibly saving money with the post-June cuts.
Ooh, where does Julio go?
Ooh, good one. I think everybody's been saying – so what's the top media saying, at least that you see on Twitter? Let's say it's Patriots, Ravens, and Titans, right? This is like the top 3. To me,
sleeper Seahawks.
Seahawks, okay.
That's where I've got a little wind of the Seahawks poking around.
But my deal is they've already given the past, this coming number 1 pick and future picks already for Jamal Adams, though. So I don't know realistically what they have to trade in regards to that to make that happen.
Wilson's upset. So how do you get into your quarterback's good graces other than give him another shiny new toy?
I got a better sleeper option for you who might actually possibly be more on the more possible realistic side it could happen. Indianapolis Colts.
That'd be a boring one, but I see it.
But you got Carson Wentz there now.
Yeah.
They have a core group of wide receivers a core group of young wide receivers minus T.Y. Hilton that can benefit from having a veteran such as Julio Jones on them. And they have a damn good second-year running back now. Yeah. They have one of the better offensive lines in the league, maybe the top 3 offensive lines in the league.
He did say he wants to win. And I don't know if that happens in Indianapolis.
I'm saying, I'm not out on Wentz. He had one of his career worst years last year. Reason why he got traded. Reason why everybody's making fun of Philly for paying him all that money and going back to back wide receiver draft option 1 drafts, whatever. Anyways, but I think it's a good chance for him to bounce back. And they were in the playoffs last year. That was with Phillip Rivers. Right. And if Carson Wentz can be Carson Wentz from 2-3 years ago, who's to say that team can't go all the way? They have a lot of key pieces there.
You hold Wentz higher than Phillip Rivers? Because I don't.
No, I hold 2016, 2017 Wentz higher than last year's Phillip Rivers.
Okay.
And if he can be that same type of guy, sky's the limit for that team. And then you have Julio Jones, T.Y. Hilton, whoever the other two, Pittman, and I can't remember the other guy's name.
That huge tight end.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They have the pieces there to where they could benefit from a 30-year-old veteran, Julio Jones, who still has plenty left in the tank, at least a good 3 to 4 more years, at least, minimum.
Well, yeah, he wasn't seeing any action in Atlanta, so.
Exactly. And I'm thinking that realistically could be a good sleeper option. They got the cap space for it. They can make it happen with some of the picks. So if not the Ravens, if not the Titans, and if not the Patriots, I'm thinking Colts.
Okay, I like it.
So with that being pretty much wrapped up, I mean, anything else? Anything else you want to tee off on?
Just showing some more support to my boy Jay Cutler. I know these are tough times for him, but go get your money, man. Half yours. You put in the time and effort. If it was the other way around, they'd be egging on,
Yeah.
We all know this.
Hey,
equal rights.
It's 2021. We're all part of equality now.
That's what I'm saying.
Go get your money, Jay Cuddy.
You can't pick and choose, and you can go ahead and fucking DM me and tell me I'm a fucking asshole. Whatever.
We'll still be here every other week doing a episode. Can't wait till it gets down to the grind and we can start watching all these games again. And once football season is truly back, I mean, it's a season for both of us being a Bears fan, Cowboys fan, to get excited for. A lot of key pieces coming back. People come back from injury. You guys possibly have your future franchise quarterback.
No, it is our future franchise quarterback.
You guys have your future franchise quarterback. And it's an exciting time for both teams.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So on that note, let's call it a day. We'll be here next week. Follow us at ModPod TX, Texas. We're on Twitter. You can follow us at our names.
There.
It's mirrored.
I know. Over there.
You can follow us on Twitter as well there. And we'll see you guys next week.
All right, man. Cheers. Hit that shit, bud.